Hi everyone! Today we are going to be drawing a cobra, and this is for Noah in grade 1. He wanted to draw a snake, and I thought what better snake to draw than a cobra. We have our own cobras here in Cape Town. We have our Cape Cobra, and it's a highly venomous snake, and so we can maybe look at some of his coloring that he has a bit later, but we're going to draw him first. Alright, so we're going to draw him coming out of the big head with his hood, which is so famous and is how you can recognize a cobra by its hood. And then he's going to be twisting round and round and round and round, so lovely curved lines. Okay, so we're going to start off with one big curved line, a little bit. If this is my middle, I'm going to start near the top here, which is going to be the top of his head, and a little bit to the right. And I'm going to do a big swooping curve that is coming round and down. Okay, this is going to be the start of his hood as well. Right, and we're going to do a little gentle curve and another curve coming down, which is going to be his nose. I'm going to come around the front and up to his mouth. Alright, I'm going to put in a big eye here. And Cape Cobras have quite big round eyes, so I won't skimp on his eye. And two nostrils. Just put an idea of an eye on that side. And I'm going to color in his eye black. Alright, we're going to finish with his mouth. We want to give him his fangs in the front. And they point backwards. They are super sharp. Alright, let's do the rest of his mouth. We're going to come round and just lip there. Come round and up. Right, so a lot of curved lines. Okay, his head is like the hardest part, so we're doing well. I'll make him look a little more fierce just by adding in a little bit more of an angled line here, and we'll put some more details on his head in a bit. I'm just going to put a curved line over here down his inside of his mouth. Alright, we'll come back here in a minute. Right, we're going to follow this curve, and remember how we spoke about how when curves come from far and then come close together and out again, and they really tell a story, they add movement. So we're going to think about that now, how this curved line is going to relate and talk to this curved line, and it's going to make his hood. So we're going to go up and close and down, and we're going to put another curved line over here and lean into that curve a little bit. You see how it's coming from wide to thin to wide again, and I'll put the other side of his hood in here. Alright, I'm going to put in some detail. We're going to just leave the detail for now. Actually, let's leave that. We'll finish our snake. Right, I'm going to take this and I'm going to come around. And what I want you to think of ovals of for the coil of his coil. So we're going to do an oval here. So I'm going to lean into this corner a little bit, leaning in and up and around. And then I want this line to also follow. And up and around. Right, it's going to come out this side now, so I want it to match up, so jump across in my mind. And this one is just going to become a short curve, and this is going to become the one that comes out. I'm going to lean into that corner and swoop back again. I'm going to follow this one down. Think of my oval shape and back in. And I can bring this up a little bit more, and that can come at the back. Alright, and now my top line, I go along my top line, jump across this wide gap, and this is going to become a short curve. And my bottom line here, jump across, 1 digit line up, and I'm going to lean into this curve now, nice oval, oopsie. And this one's going to become a short curve, and I'm going to finish him off with the tail. Okay, alright, he's got a few wobbly lines. If you are using a pencil and you want to change one of the lines, you can, but I'm not too worried about mine. Okay, so we're going to do some more extra details now, so I want you to pay careful attention. I want you to imagine, in fact you can draw it in with your, I'm going to draw it in with an orange pencil crown, because I'm going to use some orange. From his eye, I want to add an extra detail here, where we have the main body of the snake, and then we have this hooded part. So from the eye, past the mouth, and it's going to come out, and then it's going to come down and draw in. And you can put this line in pencil if you want to. I'm just putting it with the orange pencil crown because I'm going to come back to that. And we're going to put in some contour lines now. Now look at carefully at the direction of the contour lines. This one here, I want this hood to feel like it's coming out, and so these lines are going to curve, and they're going to curve in. So I want that to see that shape. Follow the shape almost like a ladder, keeping my gentle curve. Alright, let's put a little detail line here, and we're going to do the same on this side. In. So they're curving upwards. Alright. This part here is the body of the snake, so it's got the shape is coming outwards, and so these curves are going to go the other way. They don't have to touch. Oops, my paper's getting away from me. And I'm going to carry these around as it's coming around. And I'm going to just do along the bottom of our snake. As it gets towards the end, they get closer together and a bit shorter. And we change direction and go the other way. Closer together, and they're going to go this way again. This is a long straight piece going behind. You can see how I'm going, and as I get to the curve, I'm going to get closer together and go the other way again. And here we're getting close to the curve, so I'm going to get closer together. And we'll end with the last couple of lines under his tail. Alright, let's give him a good snaky tongue. So let's just pretend it's coming out here, and a snake has got a forked tongue. I'm going to just color that in black in my picture. And we'll put a last detail on his mouth here. From this tongue, this black tongue, I'm going to come up, and I'm just going to put a bit of a shape in his mouth here, and I'm also going to color this part inside here black. You can color it in with your pencil crayon, you don't need to color it in with a pen, but I'm here now, so I'm going to just color it in quickly. Pens are never really good for coloring in, actually. They're so fine. Alright, we go. Something like that. Okay, On his head now, let's give him a few more details. I want to see some of the idea of some of the scales on his head. So much like we did with our sea turtle. Just put an idea and then they can kind of sort of fade off down his back. Maybe I'll put a few under his eye here as well. And they're rather irregular shape, there's no particular pattern to them. Put a little bit here as well. And maybe I'll just put a few zigzaggy lines that can just show me some of these, give me an idea of some of these scales coming around. And just cross over some lines. Now I'm thinking about the top of the snake, which is going to be up there. This is the side and this is underneath. Okay, so you can use your imagination how you're going to add in some texture, maybe some cross hatching, which is when we have lines that go, straightish lines that go one way and then you cross over them at another angle. You could use that. In fact, that it's working quite nicely. And you can see I'm going around and to the edge and then over the top, and then where's the top going to be? I'm going to go along the top of the snake again and I'm going to go right to the edge here. Get my different directions, these scales. Right, we're going to color him in now. A Cape Cobra can come in many different colors. They are often a yellowy color, but they can be very dark, rich yellow, mustardy, to a copper, to a brown, and even to black. So there's quite a variety. They all are Cape Cobras, but a Cape Cobra is also known as a geel slang, which is a yellow snake. It's pronounced, we translate it directly out of Afrikaans, geel slang, yellow snake. So we are going to use our orange and our yellow and our brown and just kind of work around those colors. You can use a bit of black as well for some contrast, and we are just going to have fun with playing with the colors, and particularly I want to think about whichever colors you choose, think about how you can bring out the shape of him. So having dark around the edges, having a highlight that maybe goes on this third line like we've spoken about. We've already done a lot of work there by putting these lines in. So you can do that with, you can use yellow, you can use orange, and then brown for your contouring. I'm going to start with some yellow, and I'm just going to give him general yellow everywhere, and then I'm going to work in some more with some orange and some brown and see where it goes. Let's give a bit of shape by going down the front of his body. So think about this as a 2D picture, but we want to think about 3D. So from his head, if his head's pointing that way a little bit, the front of him is this part here, and then this is more the side of his body. So I'm going to use a bit of brown there as well, also thinking about those contour lines. Alright, I'm also going to put a bit of dark brown just on the very edge of him as well, because there's shape there as well. And over the top of his head in between his eyes. Just going to give him some shape. I'm going to use my black, and inside his mouth here I'm just going to color in grey. Near the front of his snout, side of his face. Alright, it's just giving him some shape. Alright, I'm just going to roughly go around a bit more lightly now, around the bottom, continue around where I put these bottom lines. And he's starting to look a bit more natural now, not so bright. So I'm just going to keep following those contours, curving my lines and making lots of little marks. I don't want to color in like I'm coloring in a coloring in book. I can let my marks show, but I also want to stay inside the line. So it's a little bit of both. We want to color in the lines, but we don't need to be scared about mark making. Boys and girls, I'm going to take a bit of orange and peach and I'm going to work it in along the top of him. I think orange maybe is a bit bright. I'm going to use this peach color. And I just want to tone down his top and just warm it up. And I've already got a lot of detail there, so I'm just adding in some marks, some color. Around the top. There we go. Okay, boys and girls, take note of where we put our details. Coming down, this cross hatching went along his top, and it goes right past to the edge, and then over the top there, and past to the edge and over. And pass to the edge and over, and pass the edge and over, and the sneaky shape. The yellow by itself is too bright, but we can use our other colors to mix and to match and to change his colors. But don't worry too much about. You can use black, you can use brown. The Cape Cobra actually comes in many different colors. So I hope that you enjoy drawing the snake, and I will see you tomorrow for some more lovely drawing.